Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you all so much for the number of views from the last video. It was super encouraging. I'm sure you're going to absolutely love this one. Today we are making the Yoruba alásèpò. That is okra soup. I just made it sound nice and deep. It's okra soup. So I'm going to put the list of the ingredients in the description box so you can go ahead and make it. So let's go. As you can see, I've done here, basically you take your okra, dice it into 4 bits and then cut it up in little bits, into little pieces. You don't have to do the dicing, or you could use a grater, but I just prefer to do the dicing because once I'm done with the soup, I can still see it in large chunks. I can still see the chunks, and me, I like to see the chunks of okra. I don't want it to all dissolve into the soup, but you can dice it, either of the two. So basically you dice your okra, cut it up into little bits, and there you go for the okra. So what we're going to use here, about 2 to 3 cups, 3 cups approximately of okra, right? And we will be ready to go. Okay, you can see the final output here, 3 cups of okra. This fun fact, this particular recipe was inspired by a male friend of mine. I'll continue the story after. In the meantime, let's get to the pomo. Pomo is an indisputable ingredient in okra soup, please. As you can see here, I've cut up and washed up rather my pomo nicely, and then we'll cut it up into little bits. So the way I did it is I used 2 pomos. I cut 2 pomos into tiny bits, while the other 1 pomo I cut it up into 2, so it's it will act as a side with my goat meat. I'm so excited. Okay, back to the story. Do you know that this recipe was inspired by a male friend of mine who tasted my okra soup and was like, I've been paid this thing bangs now, please tell me how to cook it. So I was going to share the recipe with him, but I'm like, why not share it with the whole of my YouTube family now that I have one? So back to the recipe. While this is going on, right, you have to be boiling your meat, whatever meat you decide to use. I use goat meat, and the reason why I said this is because the stock is so important in all of this, because the stock is what will help you not have to think of maggi, salt, all of that, because you've already put it in your meat stock, right? Okay, so you can see the meat stock here now and the goat meat. So basically what I just put is goat meat stock I'm using. Basically I just pour the pomo into the goat meat stock. My goat meat stock is pretty non-complicated. If you need to know what my ingredients are for that, it's just garlic and ginger, curry and thyme, maggi and salt. Shikina, garlic, ginger, curry, thyme, maggi and salt, all to your taste, right? So once we've done all of this, we put in some oil, some palm oil, depending on you. Some people like oilless okra, but I prefer to put oil in my own. It's the traditional type, so you put in oil. About 1/4 or 1/3 cups of oil will do, depending on your threshold. Say hi to my family members. All right, so we mix and we mix and we mix. Then we move on to the next ingredient, which is crayfish. Crayfish is no questions asked. Put as much crayfish as you can tolerate, but to be more specific, you can put about 2 large tablespoons of crayfish into your okra soup. But for me, I put as much as possible. Crayfish cannot go wrong when it comes to okra soup. That's also another good thing about okra soup. You can just put in as many things as you can take. Next is pepper. 1 tablespoon is good for me here. However, this is all very dependent on your threshold for pepper. If you don't have a high threshold for pepper, please put according to your level or your threshold, right? Okay, once we are done with this, we then put in dried catfish. Yours doesn't have to be dry, but just put in catfish. It doesn't also have to be catfish. It could be mackerel, it could be Titus mackerel, that is, I think, panla, or Titus fish, or any kind of fish that you prefer. Just put in your fish, deboned, of course, and washed. Okay, I already have that dried, deboned and washed here. That's why you see me putting directly from the jar. Okay, once you are done putting your catfish, you just do a quick mix. You can see everything is already looking juicy and nice. All of this is because I have my meat stock. If you didn't have your meat stock, you would have to put maggi and salt at this point, right? But I didn't have to because my meat stock already had all the ingredients that I listed to you earlier. I will still put it in the description box though, just for us to be safe and all right. So next, when we're done, we just cover up for 5 minutes because we want all the ingredients to just mix together, right? 5 minutes, and you reduce your heat also from the high heat that you were boiling your meat with to just about low medium heat. Once you're done after 5 minutes, You put in your okra. Some people like to mix in their okra and mix it to be so thick before putting it, but I don't see the point of that, because for me it still comes out nice and wonderful even when I don't do that mix that they do. So it's all left to you, but I just put in my okra directly as I have cut it up. So you just put in your okra everywhere, just put it nice and round, and do a quick mix. Okay, this is what my okra looks like once I put it in, and then I just start to mix it up. All of this. Now, if you want to know, in case you're not using meat stock, you're just using water, you want to know how much water you should put. So for 3 cups of okra, you should put between 3 to 4 cups of water. It all depends on how watery you want your okra to be, right? If you want it super thick, you can put 2 cups. If you want it medium, 3 cups to 4 cups. So for 3 cups of okra, 2 to 3 cups of water. Okay, so we mix and we mix. Now there's one very key ingredient that I didn't put in this video, but I eventually put later when I was warming the soup, and that is iru, locust beans. Iru is non-negotiable. It gives it a wonderful flavor, so please don't forget to put your iru. You can see that we are almost done. It's very easy, very fast, very sharp. I mean, who doesn't love a good okra soup, man? Okay, so once you do this, you have mixed and mixed and mixed and mixed. I don't know why I can't seem to stop mixing in this video. But once you mix everything nicely and you think you have arrived at your desired consistency, cover it and increase your heat back, but not too high, just to a medium. You can see here I put 7 out of 9. So once you've done that for about 3 minutes, you're good. You open it back up. You can see I've opened mine back up. Then you now taste, right? If it's too watery, you add water. If it's not salty enough, you add more salt, maggi, and all of that, right? Once you do all of that to taste and you mix, you, my darling, are good to go. Look at this juicy, delicious pot of okra. Okay, now I'm making my pupuru. That's just like eba, but nicer and lighter. It's a variant of gari. So my pupuru with some delicious okra soup. You can see how the soup looks. That's for my husband because he likes his own in separate plates. But the local woman that I am, I like my own right in one plate with my eba and my okra, as you can see here. And that is the end of today's video. I hope you love your okra soup. Okay, please like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends that you think need to know how to cook this. See you in the next video.